We're talking with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com and Zach Rosenfield from AccuScore.com previewing Week 9 in college football here on the SBR TV College Football Experts Roundtable. Now let's get to both of the games that you wanted to talk about, Zach, and both of these games involve high-profile teams with pretty interesting and somewhat controversial lines based on what I've been reading. I guess let's start with Baylor at Oklahoma State. Now, right now, Oklahoma State's minus 14, but they opened around 17 and got bet down pretty quickly. You know, Baylor got crushed against Texas A&M by, I think, like 25 points, but they are off of a bye week. Zach, I know you have a phenomenal track record with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. What's your take on this game? I'm assuming you're going to say that you like Oklahoma State minus 14.
Well, yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, when we talk about a phenomenal record in the last 18 games that we've picked Oklahoma State and that they've been involved in, we've been right 17 times. That's 17-1.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we don't feel the odds makers are giving Oklahoma State nearly the credit that they deserve. I mean, they were, just a lazy favorite last week, 6.5 points on the road at Missouri, and possibly up to 7, and they handled that game with ease. So what you're getting into a situation here where you get Robert Griffin III giving a lot of hype, tons of hype, and he's very good. But I think a lot of people don't realize that beyond that he's pretty much a one-man show. Oklahoma State has a fantastic secondary, not that great of an interior defense, but a fantastic secondary. But Baylor cannot defend the pass. They have a really hard time defending the pass. And last I checked, that's all Oklahoma State really does, and they do it well. We like Oklahoma State.
The way you're talking about this game, I'm thinking maybe just Oklahoma State on a team total over might be a good way to play it as well. Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. I've been talking to Zach for 2 years about college football, and his read on Oklahoma football and Oklahoma State is just unparalleled. What's your take on this game? You going to go against them?
I am going to respectfully disagree with Zach here
Shit.
again. So here I'm going to lay out my case, and you'll take it for what it's worth. First, we start with Oklahoma State being a major public favorite. We know that. The second thing, and I've been saying this about Oklahoma State all year, and if anything, my position is only strengthened now that Oklahoma lost, and that is that Oklahoma State just needs to win out. They do not need to be winning by more than 2 touchdowns. They just need to win out. Right now, Baylor's coming off of a bye. So they're going to be all those nicks and bruises that don't show up in the injury report. They're going to be healed. Right now, if you look at these teams on paper, you say, okay, Baylor, number 2 in total offense in the country. Oklahoma State's number 3, very similar. Okay, total defense, Baylor number 96, not very good. But look at Oklahoma State, number 103, also not very good. In the 2 losses that Baylor has had this year, both times they were held under 100 rushing yards. Look at the defenses they played. Texas A&M ranked number 5 against the rush. The other team, K-State, ranked number 13 against the rush. Now look at the other side, Oklahoma State, stopping the rush, they're ranked 91 in the country. They are not going to be able to stop Baylor from getting over 100 yards rushing. And when you don't do that, Baylor does darn well this year especially.
Wow. Zach, Steve just went right up into his webcam and dissed you. What do you have to say back?
I think, you're talking about Baylor on a bye week. They can have all the bye weeks they want and get healthy. They had a nice 3-week bye week last year before the Texas Bowl and got their butts handed to them. Baylor kids who play at Baylor outside of Robert Griffin are the kids that Oklahoma State doesn't even want, and usually the guys from Texas Tech don't even want. If you take a look at who Oklahoma State has struggled with in their interior defense, against the run on the perimeter, they've been fine. They've struggled on the interior. Robert Griffin isn't going to run quarterback draws all day. Missouri, which has 10 times the rushing attack that you'll see from Baylor, just got stuffed. And these were guys who had a lot of success against Oklahoma. And so I'm not seeing it. So when you talk about what 2 touchdowns really is with the Brendan Whedon-led offense and Mike Gundy, who has all the interest in the world that has to run up the score, I mean, they're not playing for a BCS championship so much as they're also playing for recruits. So style points absolutely do exist in the world of Mike Gundy, and coming from Oklahoma, where I'm from, I just understand that Mike Gundy cares very much about running up the score and being able to compete and put up big-time wins, especially a week after Oklahoma did you-know-what to the bed at home against Texas Tech.